nurse for about 1.5 years. I actually went through the ASCENT program as well, so this is my first time in a hospital. And then I also am a graduate student. I'm going for Hays State University in Kansas, so this teaching part of it is actually an assignment. I have to record myself, so does anybody have any problems with that? Megan's doing it. No, none of your faces, anything. If you answer a question, your voice will be in it, but yeah.
Hard to hear you.
Okay, I'll try and talk louder. Kind of soft spoken as it is. So I will be talking about infection prevention. A lot of this you've probably heard before. So we'll kind of go through it. If you have questions, let me know. I'll be asking you questions. Any questions to begin with? Do a lot of you feel like you know a lot about infection prevention? What goes into it? Yeah, kind of. So these are the objectives. So we'll go over hand hygiene, personal protection equipment, isolation, and then infection control precautions, and then looking at the H&P and all that kind of stuff. Who can tell me the 5 moments of hand hygiene? Just shout them out. Okay. What do you do before you go in there? Foam in. Okay. Okay. Before you go in, that's one.
When you go out.
Okay.
Before you touch a patient.
Okay. What about after? Okay. What about you touch the vitals machine and now you're gonna go give meds? Okay. So before patient contact we talked about, before you do anything aseptic, so you're gonna insert a Foley, you're gonna change a dressing, anything like that. After you touch any fluid, so somebody threw up all over the floor, you're gonna clean it up, hand hygiene. After you touch the patient, and then you go do something else, you come back to touch them, and then patient surroundings, so like we said, the vitals cart, anything like that in the room. So it's a lot. Do you guys feel like you do a good job of this? Do you feel like you fall in and fall out all the time? I know it's something I definitely need to work on. Like you just get going, you're doing things, you kind of forget. How do I do it? But what if you don't touch the patient? Do you still need to do it?
Yes.
Okay, what are some... Definitely not gonna hurt, you're right. What are just some things you might touch that you would want to do hand hygiene after? Okay. Door handles, vitals machines, bed rails. You flush the toilet, turn on the sink. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, the IV pumps, we touch those all the time. And then bacteria can actually survive for days, so that's why it's important. You never know what's on there. You don't know what other people have touched, and now you come in, you don't know what else you're touching. Okay. So we kind of already talked about these, your wows. My floor, we don't have the computers in the rooms yet. We're next to be remodeled, so that's exciting. So yeah, we pull our wows around, we're touching the keyboards, everything on the computer. And then it just says after you leave the room too, which we kind of talked about. Even if it was just you went in and you touched the pump in and out. I always do it when I'm walking down the hall, like random times. It's hard. I don't know if you guys will find that. So like we said, bacteria live on the surfaces for a long time. What are some of the most common ones that you get isolation for that you see that? Okay. Sound actually lives for up to 5 months. 5 months on. Oh, okay. Well, that might be nice. 5 months on things, because it creates the spores. So that's a long, long time. And washing hands with C. diff is especially important. Like say no alcohol, so it doesn't kill it. And then, so MRSA is 7 days to 7 months. So just keep that in mind. There was a patient in there before that was in isolation. Just make sure you clean really well. Any other ones? ones you guys can think of that you see a lot? We don't get very much pertussis, maybe a non-baby. Main ones for sure. So what about when you're doing med administration? What do you guys think about hand hygiene there? Like, what do you guys do to keep things clean while you're doing all that?
Gloves.
Gloves, okay, yeah. Cleaning before you give meds, like cleaning the lines. And then what would be some clean to dirty or dirty to clean tasks that you would want to watch out for? Wearing gloves.
So like if you remove dirty dressing, then you take your gloves off or wash and then
Perfect, yes. That was one of my examples.
And doing Foley now.
Yes. Yes. Doing pericure, you're gonna insert Foley, do pericure, wash your hands, then get ready to insert it. What about when you have dirty linens or gowns? Take them off with your dirty gloves on. Yep, take the gloves off. Take the gloves off. All the stuff you guys have heard before, I'm sure you guys all know. Okay, so we're gonna go into precautions. So what type of precautions do we use for everyone? Every patient, standard. Yeah, I gave you the answer. So everyone, every time. So standard precautions are what? Okay, gloves, yeah. And then gown and mask are not always all the time. But definitely you're emptying a Foley, they say wear high protection. And then why is it important to protect yourself? Protect from what?
Infection. You're protecting everyone at your house too.
Yes.
My charge told me that she gave her baby MRSA on accident on his penis because she came home and didn't wash her hands. She took off her shoes and didn't wash her hands, and then she changed his diaper, and he got MRSA.
gloves for the big sticker.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea.
Can you repeat that louder? They didn't hear you in the back.
Oh, my charge nurse's son got MRSA on his penis because she didn't wash her hands after she came home and took her shoes off. So she changed his diaper and he got it.
And then you also never know, you may not have looked into the history, you may not know what they have. So you're protecting yourself, you're helping spread all of that. And we'll kind of talk about looking at the history. So we're gonna watch this video. Who can tell me the best way to sneeze? What's the best way to? You guys already know. We'll watch the video.
So you might have to control and click. So control, click, or no, we have to end the slideshow to get into it. Is there a pause function?
Okay, so most of you already knew that. So now that you do, what's it important to do with your patients? They come in pneumonia, GPS, education. Education, very important. Very good. Okay. Well, I already gave you the answers. So, PPE is always important. Use it everywhere, and then protect yourself and others. Is why we do it. If it's wet and not yours, don't touch it without protection on. That's supposed to say. But, you know, we get in those sticky situations, make it a priority. So this kind of goes over just different types of precautions, and what kind of special precautions you would use. So C. diff is actually contact.
Special.
Did you guys know that we have a C. diff nurse-driven protocol that we follow? Have you guys all seen it? It's that big flow sheet that you go through. Okay. And so you can actually put your patient in precautions if you're suspecting it. Okay. So TB is actually airborne precautions. You have to wear a mask. I've never personally done that. I don't know if anybody has. Yeah. Never experienced that one. MRSA is contact. And then, do you guys know what HIV/AIDS is? Standard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Before we get to this, has everyone seen our isolation cards? What's in them? Like in general, what do you think? Gowns.
Shoe covers.
Yeah, sometimes shoe covers. Ours usually, I guess they're all the same. Usually have a stethoscope in them in the room. We have computers in there. Have you guys been at other hospitals where they do precautions differently than what we do? No. I recently went to clinicals back in Kansas, and I was following a nursing instructor taking students to clinicals, and we put a computer in the room. They don't. They still take their computers around, so they put on all the gown, the gloves, and then they'll go in the room, take the actual scanner with them. It's cordless there, and they go scan the patient and put it back on their card.
Sometimes there aren't enough computers to leave one in a room. Or
Yeah,
if there's
yeah.
like 7 people on precautions.
Yeah.
You
That is true, but like all their nurses, the students just took their computers. They set them outside the door. They don't go inside, but like the scanner does.
It's down when you're done though.
Yeah, I don't know that happens all the time. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. I didn't ask about it. I should have, but yeah, I had never seen that before. All I knew was we put everything in there. Once you go in, you don't come out unless you take it all out. So if they are in precautions, what's important to remember to do?
Wipe everything down.
Yeah. So if it goes in and you need to bring it back out, make sure it's okay to bring it out.
You touch something with the gloves on that comes out. Right.
Yes, everything like that. Make sure you're prepared. Take everything you need in there. If you forget something, you've already gone in there, can you just come back out, grab it?
Call someone, wipe your phone down.
Yeah, or stand out in the hall, like in the doorway, and be like, well, is somebody gonna walk by, or do I just need to take it off? I stand there sometimes, couple minutes, I'm like, don't wanna come out yet. But,
I know difference between UC Health and St. Anthony's because I've worked for both. UC Health doesn't allow you to have your phone in the room. You have to leave it outside the room, and then
Okay.
you're not allowed to answer it when you're
Yeah.
there.
Then you're not tempted.
Yeah. So that not put that GPS.
Yeah, yeah, and then when it starts ringing, it's in your pocket, you're like, it's
Like,
annoying, it's so loud, like, what do I do? Yeah. Anything else you guys have seen? Alright, so we can go over this now. So looking in your health and history and physical, whatever it's called. Sorry, I worked last night, so I've been up for a long time. The past 5 nights out of 6. I had 1 day off in between, 3 on, 1 off, 2 on. So it's been a while. So if you see anything that's concerning in there, if you're reading through it, it had diarrhea, it hasn't gone away, it's really bad, watery, whatever, just make sure you ask. And then just prepare and be cautious. You know, whatever you think you need to put that on before you go in there. Keep them safe, keep yourself safe, all that kind of stuff, which we've already been over. So that can give you a lot of clues. And if they've already come in with something you're suspicious, then just be safe anyway. If they are in precautions, it should be up in the banner, and it should flag you depending on what kind of precautions and what it's for. An order, I believe, has to be entered for it to show up, so just make sure there's an order entered. And then the banner just gives you a lot of different information. Has everybody had somebody in isolation and seen it? So, hand hygiene is definitely the most effective way to eliminate any infections, the spread of it. Isolation and personal protective equipment. keep yourself, keep your patient safe, no matter what. And then just remember, look at your H&P and at the banner, it'll flag you, and then just make sure the order is entered. Do you guys have any questions? Anything I missed? Any stories you want to tell? Yeah.
We don't, in the ED, we don't see that banner all the time. We miss it all the time. We bring up patients, so like, how come you guys have the precautions? Why? And so, I guess Jack will miss it,
Yeah.
or we don't see the banner, or it's not in our banner.
Okay. And then, I guess something I missed, when they are in precautions, make sure there's a sign on the door. And then education for family is really important with that as well. So yeah, good point. I did miss that.
This is like obvious.
Yeah.
Did you go to school in Kansas?
I did.
Where at?
High school or college?
All of the above.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm from Kansas, so I'm
Okay, we're in Kansas, is that right?
Topeka.
Okay, I grew up in western Kansas, middle of nowhere, but I went to Weskin High School, and then Fort Hays State University in Hayes is where.
Okay, I was born in Hayes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where.
We're basically related.
I don't know if it's related, but I've had two patients ask me recently why, like, they don't have any hand sanitizer near their bed for them to use. Because they're like, why can't I reach that foam thing? I want to wash my hands, but like I'm not the most mobile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Increase mobility.
Yeah, they've asked me some times, and I'm like,
It's to encourage you to get out of bed.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind.
So what is something we can do for our patients that
I'll, like, bring
struggle getting up out of bed? They're using a urinal. They're using the bedpan. They're helping wipe themselves. What do you need to do for them? Either hand sanitizer, we can washcloths with little soap and water on it. So all our patients should be having some kind of hand washing prior to eating, right? Yes.
Question. So this is just a protocol I probably just don't know, but how long are we supposed to leave the pulse ox stickers on their fingers? Because man, they like wipe themselves and they've got that thing and then they're eating dinner and you're like, come on. So
I actually don't know.
like I feel like they should be changed at least once a shift, just like the pads. Is that right?
I mean, if they,
Really,
yeah,
if they're
not
using.
once a shift, but I mean, if they're using that for personal hygiene, every time.
Okay, that's what I
Every
thought.
time.
Okay.
And hopefully, depending on where you work, we are getting those disposable strips, so we don't have to, but wiping that down can be wiped down and then using another Coban strip around.
Wash
Yeah,
my hands down
every
also.
time.
Mhm.
But at least once a shift.
At least.
For
Okay.
sure.
Good question. Any questions about, because I just started like a year ago, any questions about that? I went through this program.
One more infection
Okay.
question. Do we have like little signs or like things that we can put on top of the hand sanitizer for MRSA rooms that just say, hey, don't use this stuff?
We use the,
For C. diff, for MRSA, we need to wash our hands in all those rooms, right?
right, we use the, the booties or like what,
Bouffants.
yeah, the surgical caps, yeah. And we'll like
Just
put
over
it
it.
over it so you can't.
No, I haven't seen that scene yet, so I'll do it.
You can bring it back.
Sure, why not?
Be a champion.
Has anyone dealt with family members who didn't want to be protective equipment on going to see their loved ones? Yes. What? How did you deal with it? Anybody want to share?
I have a good experience.
Yeah, please.
When I educated my patient's wife, who's like amazing, but she's like a full-time caregiver, she's awesome. Anyway, he had like all kinds of stuff going on, and he was on MRSA precautions. And I told her, like, you're not just protecting yourself and your husband, you're protecting everybody else on this floor and in this hospital. When you wash your hands and when you wear that, and she started telling other MRSA room patients' families about it. It was awesome.
That's awesome. So what are some of the things you can do if a patient or a family member?
I have a question, because I've been told, so like the different gowns, like the blue plasticky ones and the yellow fabric ones, I've been told you can use either.
Mhm.
So I would say give them the yellow one so they don't
Feel so hot?
sweat.
After like 2
3
minutes.
hours they're in there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have both.
Yeah.
Typically, hopefully everybody has both available, but some probably don't. Have you worn the blue plastic? Everybody worn the blue plastic? Oh yeah.
Sometimes if it's like something I'm really like, I don't know.
And that might be all you have to use, but
I'm gonna be in there for a while.
what you'd want to do if you talking to them isn't enough, who can you recall? Who can you call on? Absolutely, definitely during the day shift, you have infection control, we kind of help as a resource, as a guide, as education. Who else? Charge nurse, absolutely. Yep. And so we definitely want to do that because depending, we just want to protect us and everyone around us, including them. So.
What else do you need to do? Document, especially if those patients' families are refusing to use those precautions. Document your butt off on those. Yep, you did your education. You told them the risks. They are aware. They're not compliant with it. Make sure you document all of that.
Worst case scenario, can you ask them to leave the hospital? Absolutely.